about, industrial scale child abuse, because when they used the term industrial, they were making children work, they were taking money for them children, they were meant to be providing a care to them children. They were doing none of it. In fact, they were abusing children, starving them, neglecting them, malnourishing them, robbing them of their education, robbing them of the freedom and childhood because they had them locked down. And basically, why not just give them a cage? It's no better than putting them in a children's home with abusers. Why didn't you just cage them? It would have been, easier for the kids, wouldn't it?
Well, the ICSA didn't touch speech home, to be truthful. They didn't talk about the acid baths. They didn't talk about the carbolic soap treatment.
What did they talk about?
They touched it. They looked at it, but didn't go into it.
See, the thing is with ICSA is they've got the powers to investigate, but they've got no powers to prosecute. So what's the point in the inquiry if you can't prosecute who you found out that's guilty? I mean, we've got people that's testified in the ICSA that should be sat in jail right now, but because they've got no power to arrest and they go, oh, that's the police's job, but then the police don't want to do it because they're, oh, go away, because we might have to tell the world what's going on about all the children's abuse and all the children's homes all up and down the whole country.
But if you turn around and look, a good scenario here now is like, what's happened from Beecham? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Why hasn't it been investigated? Because at the end of the day, they don't want to bring it out because of the people that are involved. Now, this will bring political parties down to the fore. It doesn't matter what colour rosette you are. You can have a red, pink, blue, yellow.
Oh, let's talk about that one in a minute.
The rosette of a political party. You could stick that on a donkey, and it's not going to make a blind bit.
Well, they stuck one on a man with AIDS and put him in a children's home called Mark Trotter and sent him from Liverpool to Hackney. And it was eventually he died of AIDS. Anyway, Merseyside police goes out to try and find 500 children. They can only find 58. Oh no, sorry, the person who wrote the report. Yeah, it wasn't the police. It's just the thing as well. The police don't bother getting involved in crimes. Yeah. What was I saying then, Al?
Well, we've gone off a little bit of a skew with...
the AIDS. Now, I'm not being funny, not on Alan, so... Merseyside police were meant to contact 500 victims and they were down your neck of the woods, Hammersmith. They only contacted 48 victims, so that means there's 450 victims out there with HIV that's been infected by Mark Trotter that they don't even know. So you think about that back in the 1980s, because it was like the 80s to the 90s, it was about 12 years, and you think about how many people that child slept with. They've probably slept with that person's raped them, this person's raped them. How many people have got AIDS and they don't know? That's another scandal in itself. And the reason why they couldn't do nothing is because he was working with the trade unions and the Labour Party, the same people that are in today that shouldn't even be there, because they're the ones, that have done all this in the first place. Our towns are all Labour run. We've been to our Labour MPs. I've got an injunction on all MPs across the whole country, which was hidden from the public, and the Liverpool Echo were there and they got served a D notice. So they keep hiding all these things. They lose files, they destroy records. We've had floods, fires, lost in transit, and now the bulldozing everywhere. I mean, how long did they bulldoze your home ago?
Beecham was demolished within a year.
A year of you reporting what was going on?
No, when they demolished Beecham in 1975, it was gone with by 1976.
Why did they bulldoze Beecham?
Because I think it was so abusive, they wanted to hide it.
Yeah, they wanted to hide all the evidence. Do you think, Alan, I remember looking into your kids' home ages ago and I said to you, Alan, what's that, are they traffic wardens? I said, Alan, what's that digger in the garden? Why would there be a digger in your garden? It's a little bit like, are they digging graves or... that's what I thought. I instantly thought they were digging graves, but why would there be a digger in your home?
No, there were children's homes. Every children's home. Let's put it this way.
Every children's home doesn't have a graveyard.
A lot of children's homes did.
Did yours?
Yes.
So where's the graves? Where's the graveyard now?
The graves were up the top end near Rowan.
Where are they now?
Don't know.
Should we go to Beecham and have a look where the graves are?
You won't find them.
So
all
have they
from-
heard?
as
So
an estate.
this is exactly like Quarry's
build over it and
Sandy.
bury it and cover it.
Exactly. So Sandy and Jane have basically in Quarry's Orphans Home in Scotland. They said we remember a graveyard there years ago. Quarry's were claiming, that no, there's no children there. There's no graves. There's no mass grave there with babies in. They were like, there was a graveyard there. They fighted for years, didn't they, for justice? Yeah. They ended up turning around and admitting that there was a graveyard there. Then they fought for the kids' headstone. 338, Alan. 338 children in an unmarked grave, and nobody knows who the kids' names are. They've got no kids' names on it because they don't know who they are, because they don't want to know who they are, because they'll have to admit what they've done. Exactly a little bit like Beecham. It winds me up so much. And then everything that they've done in the past has now inflicted me and my children and our future children, because it's carrying on and on and on, and it needs all stopping. The abuse needs stopping. Stop the abuse.
Yeah, well, it's been going on for a long, long time, and they're all complicit. I don't care what you say. The cover-up is beyond and off the Richter scale. The politicians blatantly lie. As soon as they open their mouth, they're lying, because how can a public servant stand at a ballot box and potentially lie to the whole world, not to the country, to the whole world, and they do it. Keir Starmer's been awful, and he's been an absolute...
How do they sleep at night?
I mean, how can a man be knighted on his failures in the CPS when there were so many cases riddled with scandal that failed for incompetence while he was head of the CPS?
I mean, come on.
He got knighted for that. And not only did he get knighted for it, him and Sadiq Khan are up to their eyeballs in the grooming gang scandal.
I mean, come on, we've just got to look at, like, Jimmy Savile having the keys to Broadmoor. That was a mental health hospital. So when our girls and our boys in children's home, because we've got to look at Gayla's dead and all that lot and everybody else's testimony, when they were getting abused and they were reporting their abuse,